Eagle Eye Football here. Man City 1, Crystal Palace 0. We're at Selhurst Park. I'm joined here with Rich. Rich, what's your thoughts on the game today?
I don't know what to make of it. The lineup came off and I was like, oh boy.
Let's talk about that. The lineup comes out. We see Schlupp in midfield. We see Lukonga in midfield.
We see Luca.
And we see Luca in midfield. But we also look at the bench and we say, there's no Schlupp. There's no Schlupp. There's no Hughes. No Hughes on the bench.
PV obviously mentioned in this presser that he was ill and stuff, so I'm assuming he didn't feel up to it and stuff. But yeah, seeing Luca, I was like, Schlupp? What? For some reason, I did feel like Schlupp would come back into this game, just the running side to it and stuff. And then obviously, I'm guessing our front three now is Elise, Ayew and Zaha, and we might just have to get used to it.
Yeah.
But you know what? We defended so well for 75 minutes. You know, don't get me wrong, we rolled our luck. Haaland should have scored in the first half. It was pretty much an open goal. I think he scooped over the bar. And they had a few pinball situations in the box. I think the biggest concern for me at the moment is that two things. One, we don't press, so we just stand there. City literally were passing it around us with so much ease. John Stones was like a centre midfielder. Akanji found himself in the De Bruyne, the right-sided half space. I'm going to use that term that you and Dan use, whipping crosses in and stuff. And those are two centre backs, because obviously it just seems so passive. The other issue obviously is substitutions, and this has been an issue all season really, where we only make attacking substitutions when we're down. Now, don't get me wrong, had we made them earlier and then got battered 3-4-0, why did we do that? We were defending. So I guess it's not easy as a manager, but we've got to become a bit more proactive than reactive. And that's on the gaffer, in my personal opinion. He's already under pressure. Obviously, we had one outlet to talk about that this week. These next two games, it could define his career as Palace manager, and it'll be a shame to lose him, personally, but we need to stay in this division, because if we go down, I don't think we're coming back up, personally.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, we were talking about it in the pub before we came here. I think if we go down, we're going to lose our whole team. We're probably going to be down there for another 10 years. So it's gonna kill us. But how we played, as we said, the half spaces, but I feel like Bernardo and Gundogan were the people that were occupying that. Schlupp and Lukonga, they were on the man-marking job on those two guys today.
So was Luca to an extent.
But I think that he was more of a sweeping it all up and progressing the play.
Following Rodri.
Definitely. But those two guys' performances, them shutting down those two players, how much did that help our defence today?
It really did. It really did, because you could tell that City couldn't really play through us. They were trying to slap the ball up top to Haaland and he'll bounce it off and play 1-2s here and there, but there was just no joy. Their biggest joy came from their width.
Yeah.
First 3-4 minutes, Mitchell was getting run ragged by Foden, and then Mitchell got to grips with the game and stuff. Then it went over to Grealish, and honestly, Kleiny had a meh. This time last year, we were talking about, there's 100 million in Kleiny's pocket. I'm not going to lie, Grealish had him on wrong.
I think he spent his money.
He had him on wrong. Yeah, Kleiny had a stinker. Absolute stinker, and he rightfully came off. It's just like I said, we would have been all here celebrating a 0-0 draw.
Oh, 100%.
And a lapse of concentration from a short corner, which has not been the first time. It happened against Chelsea as well. Chelsea away, lapse of concentration, and we conceded a stupid penalty and such. And Haaland scored. He had about 6 chances, and buried the one from the penalty. Then obviously we made the changes, and for a little bit we looked okay. But then afterwards it was just Man City just kept the ball. Eddie stopped trying. Wolf looked better on the left. That needs to stick.
Yeah.
He did look better on the left, and I think Eze, you can see Eze and Zaha have got good chemistry, but Eze needs to obviously do better when he starts, because against Villa he was terrible. So yeah, it's a difficult pill to swallow, because we knew coming into this week it's going to be very tough. But when you're 15 minutes from when you're so close,
Yeah.
you know.
It's just disappointment, isn't it? The last person I want to talk about today is Zaha. Uh, as we said that there was a point in the last home game with Schlapp, he was chasing the ball and he gave up, and then we all slated it for that. Zaha did the exact same thing today.
He doesn't press. He tracks back, I give him that, but he doesn't press. So it's like Ayu's kind of having to do two men's job, you know, and look, we all know Ayu's not good going forward. We know that. Like, there's no one's going to sugarcoat that or anything like that. But no one can tell me he doesn't work harder than anyone in that front line.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. Yes, that we don't win games through hard work. I get it, but this is the same thing that kind of helped us last season with Gallagher's hard work.
He's
Obviously,
the only one that shows commitment.
yeah, you know, obviously Gallagher's hard work last season plus his goals was what propelled us up the league last season and such. So fair play to Ayew, man. Like he did his bit in my opinion. You know, he worked very hard, worked his socks off, held the ball up, wins us fouls, wins us free kicks. Just needs to work on his passing.
So last two things. Who's your man of the match?
I was going to say Ayew, but then I have to give it to Anderson. I think I'm not going to use the term pocketed Haaland, because Haaland really should have had a hat-trick. But he marshaled him really well. I think he had a very solid game. Mark had a good game as well. Mitchell's was better than the Villa game. So, yeah, I'll go Ander.
Finally, are you Vieira in or Vieira out?
You know what? It's so tough to decide right now because I always knew this week was going to be tough. Come back to me after Leicester, April 1st.
Fair enough. Rich, pleasure up the Palace.
Up the Palace.